State of Anarchy, oh jeez, what a mess, I swear. Well, from the title, State of Anarchy is quite literally in a state of anarchy. If the devs don't get their heads together and say, let's do it boys, let's make a game, and instead of arguing with each other, I think it could go somewhere, but for now, I am so confused on what this is. So what you do in this game is you pick up loot and you die. Kind of a familiar concept, Apocalypse Rising, and also Apocalypse Rising 2. Hint, Apocalypse Rising 2 is now dead. Wow, what a big surprise. So this game has been in development for half a year now. It was started in June of 2018. I think it was being developed while they were developing Armed Conflict, which was a first-person shooter that was a lot like Phantom Forces, but it was a lot simpler. The animations were a lot simpler too. It was also a low poly game, but it was fun. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. I could compare it to Call of Robloxia. That's why I'm gonna call it Core 4 at this point. And yeah, it was really good back in the day. It was a bit of a nostalgia rush for me because it seemed a lot like Core 5 and the mechanics just played like it. But unfortunately, kaboop, it didn't work and Armed Conflict is abandoned with no wording. So I asked Pet, hey, what happened to Armed Conflict? And he gave me a reply, yes, I have his tweets saved. Thank God, honestly, because then I just lost everything. But he said on a stream that it was an inside job, which, no, it was just a failed attempt because you didn't get your dev team straight together. Listen, this game could have been great. It could have competed with Phantom Forces. I'm talking about Armed Conflict. But after a couple of months, the game was abandoned with no updates at all. The Twitter was radio silent and Petrified didn't make any updates or streams on the game. Great, so now it's abandoned. Well, it turns out they were working on this game known as State of Anarchy. It's supposed to be an Escape from Tarkov based shooter, but also a Apocalypse Rising style type of gameplay. They said it was going to be a battle royale, and I said, ugh, that's just disgusting. Please don't make it a battle royale. I could see it being an FPS, a really good one too that would compete with Phantom Forces. That would be honestly great. Of course, the game also looks gorgeous. The animations are nice, and the graphics are just spectacular. Of course, the game is also really confusing, and there's so many mechanics that I just simply don't understand the game. And like, the first thing off the bat, which is the menu, or the starting menu, it's a place. Instead, they could have done a UI menu, which would be a lot simpler and reduce a lot of lag, but Petrified TV says no, it actually, Hub World has less lag than a UI menu. To be honest, I would have loved to see a UI menu, it would be a lot better. So, the Hub World basically looks like a Hades entrance cave. You know, the Percy Jackson the Lightning Thief movie, it pretty much looks like that. At the end waits a train that goes to some abandoned world with snow, but it's just a seasonal thing, it'll turn back into grass. So we enter the world, which is State of Anarchy, which is basically another Apocalypse Rising game. It's a survival game where you collect loot, kill other players, and if you die, the players get to collect your loot. Same thing, manana manana. Sometimes you might even get lucky and spawn in other people's spawns with them, and if you get even luckier, which luckier I mean by it's a common occurrence, you'll spawn to the person you got killed next to and get to kill the group with a surprise attack, which surprise surprise, what happens is constantly people die, or when they respawn they die at respawn, or when somebody gets the person's loot who lost, the person who died gets to come back and kill them. Basically, the person who lost their loot gets to come back in a few seconds to sneak attack upon you. I guess that's kind of fair, dev dudes. Thanks, Petrify. I mean, I don't have to blame Petrify TV, I just blame the mess that is created. They keep on adding new guns while not fixing the problems, which are in the games. The spawns are a mess, and they don't work with the zoning. I guess they're working on new ones, but I really doubt that that'll be fixed anytime soon. And I've rarely encountered players sometimes. Most of the time it's just me walking around, It's running with your gun simulator pretty much most of the time. And when you do encounter a player-to-player battle, it's kind of anticlimactic because you either A, get instantly shot because you have little health and the guns do so much damage, or B, you get to shoot the other person. But most of the time you're just gonna sneak attack on some would-be looter who just got a kill, and then you're just gonna kill him, or he's gonna come back from the dead to kill you, and then in that case you'll just lose loot. But then you'll come back because the gun spawns and the loot is just absolutely insane. You can get a gun in a random place and then get another gun, but most of the time I found out that they're in military bases or bases of some sort. And yes, I also do acknowledge that was on Pet's stream, so credit to him where it's due. And now to summarize it all up, pretty much it's a walking simulator where you're looking for loot and finding other players to kill for other loot, but most of the time they're gonna come back and loot you, or you're gonna come back to sneak attack on them and loot them. It's a common occurrence for me, pretty much, in this game. It's not really fun, it's kind of boring after a while. Also, some nitpicky things. One of them is the hub world, which looks like the entrance to the underworld from Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, you know, with the boat and all the skulls and stuff, except it's a lot of boats. Petrified TV says it reduces a lot of lag, but in many cases I think it causes even more lag because of all the stuff that it has to render, and you have to enter a train. I mean, I get a menu is a lot of work and you have to work in the UI, so you'd rather have like a teleporter that would teleport you to a server that's running, but I think a menu would be a lot easier. And also it gets really dark to the point where I can't see anything at all, and I do have to use my light, and using a light in this game is like a death sentence because when you're pretty much a bullseye target, so if anybody's gonna see you, you're pretty much dead. And I think that about covers it. Anyways, like and subscribe if you wish to. I don't really ask of you of anything, but yeah, anyways, I think I'm done for today. It's another game again, so let's see what happens. I mean, it could go really well, but I just don't really think that Petrify is a developer. In my opinion, it's kind of shaky to know if he's gonna really finish this game or not, if it's gonna be fully fledged or it's just gonna be abandoned while they work on another project. But, you know, let's hope it's another Arma 3 clone or something. That'd be pretty cool. Actually, to think about it, I could have just said it was a Roblox port of Arma 3.